Brayden, that's funny. Good to see you. You're absolutely right. It's over. He's over. The season's over. He might as well just chalk it up. He's done. They had a good run, but the eighth place finish today was just too much to come back from. We will get into all of that and much, much more here on the broadcast today. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you voted on the poll. We have one vote for the O'Reilly Series, taking the best race of the weekend. Let's look at this. I did not prepare again today, so who's surprised? Not me. We're down to 8 cars after these two. We're down to 8 cars to go. Hopefully the audio is good. I didn't even check that. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it sounds all right. The thing is, I never changed my settings, so I don't know why the audio would be any different. But, yeah. So, I don't really plan on going too long tonight. I only want to do a few things. Obviously, we'll talk about the racing of the weekend and everything, but we have a few decals to put on, not many, for these 2 cars, and then once we get these 2 done, we'll have 8 more to go. We're getting close. Doing pretty well, especially since Larson finished 3rd. Yeah, so the funny thing is, I didn't watch the end of the race, I just listened to it. We were on our way home, so I just threw it on the radio. So I don't really know how the rest of the finishing order went, because I turned it off and put music on after they crossed the line. Sounds good? Well, all right. Thank you for joining. Thanks for the audio check. Oops. But yeah, so I have IndyCar pulled up. I have the O'Reilly pulled up, and let's get ARCA pulled up here. Yep. As predicted, I didn't have it ready. Schedule. Phoenix. Okay. Results. We kind of talked about ARCA a little bit on the Thursday stream because it happened on Thursday. But we'll talk about it a little bit more today. As far as today goes, like I said, we have two cars here that we were working on last week. I didn't really get to work on them over the weekend. Whatever, I guess we'll do that. We had some things going on. But once these ones are done, then, like I said, 8 to go. We'll work on this Indy car I have here. Also today, where's my razor blade? Ooh, we got another vote on the poll. So O'Reilly's 50%, IndyCar is 50%. If I could vote in my own poll, IndyCar would be my number 1. There it is. I would vote IndyCar as my number 1 race of the weekend. Absolutely loved it. We'll talk about that shortly. Maybe as more people trickle in. Do you think it's even worth tweeting out? I guess I will. Give me a second. I'll tweet out that we're live. You guys still liking these Sunday at post-race streams? I feel like they're working pretty well. It's a good time. The race is over. Hop in a stream, talk about it, work on some things. So let's go to here. Yeah, Reddick is washed. Get share link. Post. Alright. Let's see if anybody else hops in off of this. Okay. Live now. Oh yeah, and I gotta change it because Cody's name on Twitter is different than his name on YouTube for whatever reason. So let's post that. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, let's just get into it. Oh, and I was also going to think about reorganizing the screen, because when we do, let's see, like when we do the screen capture, I think what I want to do is I want to have this screen kind of be center middle, and I'll make like the main screen a little bit smaller, and then maybe I'll pull in a background at some point, just something a little more, I don't know, interesting to look at. So we'll look to change that in the not too distant future. But we kind of talked about this on Thursday. Hailie Deegan with almost a top 10 finish, finishing in 11th. And another interesting thing is that Monty Tipton guy, he reached out to me a while ago. Actually, it was at the end of last year, asking for cars to be made for him, and I never heard back from him. I mean, we exchanged a few DMs back and forth, but didn't really hear too much back from him. So it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like I don't have plenty of other things to work on right now. So yeah, Hailie Deegan, surprisingly, back in the ARCA series, getting a top 15 finish, not too bad. And then, like I said, Cody finished in 19th. So, yeah, 3 laps down, not too bad. Not much else to really say about the ARCA race. Carson Brown winning in the 28 car, pretty predictable. That 28 car was good last year, was good the year before that. It's good again this year. Seems like whoever they throw in it runs well, so not too surprised about that. I don't plan on going too long tonight, but yeah, I agree, Braden. I thought she would do well too. I was kind of, I don't want to say I was like she's the next Danica Patrick with talent, but I kind of thought that she was marketable, she was young, but she was good at driving. Not that Danica wasn't good, but you know, she did Danica things. Hailie didn't seem to do that, but anyway, yeah, it didn't really turn out too well for her, and then eventually she figured it out, came back, she tried IndyCar, came back to NASCAR after a while, or at least the Menard series. So we'll move on to my favorite race of the weekend. We'll go to results by race, and we'll go to, yep, this one here. So the Good Ranchers 250 on Saturday. Honestly, it was a good race. I enjoyed it. There was passing. It was kind of 2-lane. You could run the line, the yellow line, or you could also run a lane up, and that allowed for faster drivers to get around other drivers, slower ones. One thing that was interesting is that IndyCar basically prohibited them from going below the yellow line into the dogleg, and I'm pretty sure in 3 and 4 too. Well, old 3 and 4. I liked that. I liked keeping the IndyCars on the actual racing surface. I thought that was a good move. I thought the racing was good. I thought the strategy was good. You had a couple different strategies, drivers on different new and old tires at different points of the race. Some staying out for track position, some pitting. You kind of saw tire degradation, lap times fall off. So overall, it was a good race. I was disappointed in the outcome. I really wanted Kirkwood to win. He ran a good race, leading 47 laps. Obviously, Malukas ran well. The one that was kind of disappointing the most was Christian Rasmussen. Nice racing. Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. We're gonna get to the O'Reilly race because Jeremy Clements, he showed up. But right now we're covering IndyCar, so we'll get to that in a minute. But again, I can't say enough positive things about the IndyCar race. I thoroughly enjoyed it. 250 laps was good. It was a relatively short race. It was under 2 hours, if we see an hour and 51 minutes. So I know what you're going to talk about. I know we're getting there. Hold on. Just be a little patient because we're getting there. I want to talk about the IndyCar race first because I enjoyed it. My favorite race of the weekend. I know Jeremy Clements did well, but IndyCar was my favorite race of the weekend. I did not watch the broadcast. I listened to the radio, and then I watched Kyle Kirkwood's on-car, because it's technically at the top of the car. I watched that. He ran a good race. Not really much he could do at the end of it with Newgarden being on fresher tires. I feel like Rasmussen kind of held him up a little bit after the contact with... I don't remember who the contact was with. Was it Will Power? I don't remember who the contact was with. But, yeah, I thought that he held up Kirkwood a little bit. And Kyle probably, if he could have got around him, he might have been able to get away a little bit. Newgarden being on the newer tires, I mean, it was kind of his race to lose at that point. But another respectable day for Kyle Kirkwood. Top 5 here, top 5 last week. So a podium this week. Overall, just a good 2 weeks for the IndyCar series to start the season. Last week at St. Petersburg, and then this week here at Phoenix. So I don't know, guys. I am heavily leaning into IndyCar as opposed to watching NASCAR. We'll get to today's race, but the word that I will use about today's race is just apathy. Like pure apathy from me. Like I just didn't care to watch it at all. Especially after watching both of yesterday's races. So IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden gets the win. Kirkwood, one thing you don't see is Palou. He got caught up in an early wreck. It was kind of a racing deal, but he was, I forget who even hit him. Was it Rinus? I think it might have been Rinus VK. He kind of had a run to the outside, but it was early in the race, and Palou kind of crowded him a little bit, but I think being as early on as it was, Rinus VK, I think it was him. He probably should have just conceded the position and not stuck his nose in that space. But overall, it is kind of neat to see. I know Joseph Newgarden's not like a new winner, but someone other than Palou win. But I also hate to see him get wrecked, right? So you want to have parity, but I don't want to see, you don't want to see drivers just getting wrecked and taken out of contention. You know, that doesn't make for good parity, in my opinion. You want to see them lose the race on speed or a mistake or something that they make, not by something, another driver does. But yeah, so again, IndyCar race, my favorite of the weekend. I only have positive things to say. And again, with IndyCar being on Fox. Oh, by the way, I didn't hear the TV broadcast, but I heard Logano was on it. I'm really glad that I didn't watch the TV broadcast. The radio broadcast was good. I do like listening to the radio broadcast and then watching the in-car for Newgarden. I like that. If I could do that for the Cup races, I would. I would just watch the 24 in-car and then the race broadcast on the radio. But they took away the ability to watch the NASCAR in-cars on the app. So thank you, NASCAR, for that. Okay, getting over to my second favorite race of the weekend, and the favorite race of our boy. You know who it is. Nice racing. Let's scroll down to the GovX 200. By the way, hold on, one more thing. Before we talk about the O'Reilly race, I think this is the perfect timing for a race, 2-hour window. Because if we look at the O'Reilly race results. If you haven't, go to JSki, great website. A lot of good information on there as always. Where's the information? They gotta say it on here. Time of race, 2 hours and 7 minutes. Right around 2 hours, perfect time for a race. It's not that I can't sit through a long NASCAR race anymore. It's just the Cup Series is so not interesting to me. It's a chore to watch those races. And again, guys, if you're new here or if you just joined us and haven't voted on the poll, please do so. ARCA and O'Reilly, I think that's fair. A 50-50 split. Those are my two favorite races of the weekend. Saturday blew Sunday away, in my opinion. Nice, to your point about the race today being interesting due to tire issues. That's a bad look. That's a bad look if the race has to become interesting due to tire issues. But I understand it. Chaos is interesting, sure. But when the racing's not that good, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, Justin Allgaier winning yesterday was a little bit of a surprise. Now I know you'll say, but Mr. Diecast driven. It feels like I just have to watch the race, but I don't want to. Exactly. That is how I feel about Sunday's races. I don't want to watch the Cup Series races anymore, but I have to since we're going to talk about them on stream. And I want to be able to have conversations with you guys and, be able to talk about it. But I don't care about Sunday. It's a sad state when their second tier race is more interesting than their top tier race. I would much rather tune into every single O'Reilly race, which it's also on the CW, so I can with an antenna. So for free. So I mean, the O'Reilly series is my home series. Obviously because I know a couple people in it too. That helps. But I don't know. It just puts on a better racing product. I feel like the coverage is better. It's free on TV. So yeah, next week at Las Vegas might be good with the Cup Series, 1.5-mile tracks. That car seems to do pretty well there. But so does the O'Reilly series. The O'Reilly series does great at the 1.5 miles as well. So next week should be an interesting race across the board. And then IndyCar is going to Texas next week, so that should be interesting as well. And I'll absolutely be trying to watch that. I see somebody voted on ARCA being the best race of the weekend. I hope that was Cody. I saw he retweeted my post or liked my post or whatever on Twitter. So I hope that he jumped into the chat just to vote on the poll and say that ARCA was best. I hope it was him. But anyway, yeah, so nice what you're saying about the Siegs. Like Ryan qualifying 10th was really cool, and then Kyle qualifying 10th was really cool, and then Ryan started 18th. To be honest, I was a little disappointed with how they ran. I thought they would do better, but for whatever reason, they just didn't have it. And I haven't talked to my buddy, so I didn't really know, if they missed it this weekend or what, but they just didn't seem to have it. And Ryan did get up to the front off of some strange pit strategy towards the end. Then that caution flew and it kind of threw things out of whack. I was really hoping it would kind of go green to the end. I think his tires were going to fall off though, and he was going to lose a ton of positions anyway. But I don't know if they were out of tires sets or whatever, but they pitted like 15 or 19 laps before everybody else on that last pit stop. So I don't know if they had a tire going down, they had a vibration or whatever. But yeah, the strategy got them up there, and then they couldn't hang on the restarts. Their car they didn't have it for whatever reason this weekend. So a little disappointed from that standpoint for the Sieg brothers. But again, they kept the cars clean. They didn't get involved in any skirmishes or any wrecks, so that's a positive. Now we'll talk about the nicest favorite part of the race weekend was our boy, Jeremy Clements. Jeremy Clements running top 5 on speed at an actual track that's not a drafting track. They showed up with speed and they brought it to those guys. He was passing William Byron. He was passing at one point Justin Allgaier. He passed pretty much everybody here except for maybe who did he not pass? I think he probably didn't pass Jesse Love or Carson Quaffle. Maybe he did. Actually, I think he did on that really long run. I bet you it's the confetti going off in the chat is nice, just because the 51 car, they brought it. He did. He passed William Byron on speed and merit, and I am oh so disappointed. I am oh so disappointed that he did not get a better finish, because that 51 team absolutely deserved it. I don't really know what it was at the end of the race. Okay, he didn't pass the Haas drivers. Okay. But they had the speed, and I was very impressed with him. He drove a very smart race. He drove a very clean race. What's up? Hello. Welcome into the stream. I was very, very, very impressed with the 51 team this weekend. They brought the speed. They competed well. He drove, like I said, he drove a clean race. So, yeah, I was super impressed with that, and I was just so disappointed because the finish that they got didn't reflect how well they did. But, yeah, again, the O'Reilly series continues to be my favorite of the three, Truck, Cup, and Xfinity, or O'Reilly. Continues to be my favorite. The racing's good. Even at Phoenix, I really don't like Phoenix. Ever since they reconfigured it, don't like it at all. But aside from the ARCA race with Cody, lost his best line of the bound, just couldn't get back to. Okay, yeah, I couldn't really remember. I was like half paying attention. What was I doing? I think I was working on something, so I was kind of like half paying attention to it. And yeah, that's kind of what always happens to the Sieg brothers, is they're really good on the long runs, but something on the restarts, they just get eaten up. I don't know if they're not aggressive enough or what, but Jeff Gordon was like that too, and that always frustrated me. Gordon would very, very, very rarely pick up positions on restarts. He most oftentimes would lose positions on restarts. So yeah, it seems to be a similar problem with the Sieg brothers as well as with Jeremy Clements. They didn't have it in restarts. Oh, that's true. Well, you could go to Las Vegas, right? Or I know I think you're within driving distance of Phoenix, right? Something like that. Because Las Vegas isn't too far. I guess Texas isn't like that far, relatively speaking, but it's also not that close. Always hurt me so much that Jeremy would always lose like 4. Oh yeah, and then pit road too. I mean, you got to tip your cap to those guys. They put together some pretty fast pit stops, but they're just not where some of the top teams are, right? They don't have the funding, they don't have the resources, the training, all that kind of stuff. So they're making do with what they have, which is incredible. They're outrunning their resources, they're outrunning their equipment. But then, yeah, like you said, when it comes to pit road, unfortunately, they don't have the speed that some of the other pit crews have. But I hope they continue to do well. Hour from Phoenix, 5-hour drive from. Okay, that's not too bad, really. 5 hours. 5 hours would get me to Indianapolis, and it gets me to Watkins Glen. So I'm about 2.5 from Michigan, and then I think it was like 4 hours from Kentucky when they raced. Maybe like 3.5 hours down to Kentucky. So I'm kind of like, I'm closest to Michigan, but we have 5 hours to Indianapolis, 5 hours to Watkins Glen, and then about 3.5, 4 down to Kentucky, depending upon traffic. So five isn't too bad from Las Vegas. But hopefully they continue to do well. Seeing 51 up there was great. I was super excited because I knew watching the race, I was excited for this stream because I knew that you would be all excited about it. And it was a different paint scheme this week. So you're going to have a blast drawing and painting that car, I have a feeling. So I'm excited for you that you get to do a little different car this week. And obviously they ran well also. I do see that IndyCar has taken the lead as our leading poll question answer with a 50%, 3 out of 6. So again, if I had to choose, I would agree that would be a fair result for me. Oh, he started 21st. I didn't even notice that. Yes, he did. And I didn't know that he won the second stage. Obviously, I'm sure it was stage 2 points, right? That's points. Did he stay out? Was there some strategy? I must have missed the end of stage 2. Oh, that's another thing. I'll wait for your answer because I want to talk about the stages real quick. Because I don't know if I have it's not really a hot take about the stages. But like, what are we doing? We're wasting so much time under caution, and I know it's for the TV breaks because they want to get their commercials in and all that crap. I hate with a passion the stages. It is so stupid. I honestly don't care if they want to award points. I know we've said this 1,000 times on this channel. If they want to award points, fine. But quit with the cautions. It's so frustrating because it slows the race down. It's obviously it's predictable. Everybody knows it's coming. And then they waste so much time under caution for nothing. It's so frustrating. That's another reason, fun fact, he has scored stage points in 4 of the 8. Well, that's good. We should check the points. I'll check the points in a minute. Yeah, we could just do it right now. What the heck? Okay, so again, Justin Allgaier wins. Jesse Love second. Carson Quaffle third. Sheldon Creed fourth. And Sam Mayer rounding out the top 5. Our boys, the channel's boys. William Byron finishing 13th. Pretty bad showing in the Hendrick Motorsports car. Then we have Jeremy Clements finishing 11th. Great run for those guys. Nice's favorite driver. We have our other boy, Ryan Sieg, finishing 17th, and Kyle Sieg finishing 24th. So, unfortunate for the 2 Sieg brothers and William Byron, but a good day for Jeremy Clements. Let's look at the points really quick. Okay. Driver points. Pull this up because I am kind of interested. All right, let's see. So Justin Allgaier takes the lead by 3 over Jesse Love. Now, personally, I don't like Austin Hill. I don't really have anything necessarily against Jesse Love other than the fact that he's a teammate to Austin Hill. So there's that. But Justin Allgaier taking over the points lead after 4 races by 3 points with 1 win. Then Austin Hill sits third with 5 points back with a win. And Sheldon Creed, the other winner this year, 41 points back in 5th. So obviously SVG won the other race, but he was not going for points, so he will not be shown here. Ryan Sieg drops down to 16th after Phoenix. A little disappointing. He is 107 back, but he got wrecked in, the second race of the season pretty early on, so he was in a pretty big points deficit, so lost a lot there. And then, who else do we have? Raja Kruth, Corey Day. Corey Day, he didn't win the stage, but he's saying that reminded me of the race at Bristol where he stayed out in old tires at the end of the stage and drove away from cars with tires. Got stuck in traffic at the end of that one though. Yeah, I don't remember that. But yeah, so Corey Day didn't do anything egregious this race, which was a welcome change for once. And let's see, Anthony Alfredo. I feel like that DNF at Atlanta really hurt the Sieg points situation because he's definitely better than a 16th place right now in the points. All right, let's throw these in the water really quick. Okay, but the stages, they just arbitrarily waste so much time under caution. And that's another thing about IndyCar that I love, is it's green to white to checkered. They don't have any predetermined yellows. Now, obviously there are incidents during the race where they have caution periods, but it's a green race, and that's a very welcome thing. So let's see, even with the stage cautions, the O'Reilly race would have been under 2 hours, which I think is the perfect amount of time these days. I think people's attention spans they're short, obviously. People have very short attention spans, and I think 2 hours is perfect time, because like a football game's like 2 hours, baseball game's like 2 hours, basketball is 2 hours. So yeah, let's see where Jeremy Clements in 23rd, 132 points back. It's not too far. Kyle Sieg sitting 135 points back. He got wrecked in both of the first 2 races, I think. I don't remember. So yeah, points situation doesn't look too bad at the moment. I mean, if Jeremy keeps running races like that, he'll climb. What is the O'Reilly series? Top 12? Restarted with 10 to go in the stage and won it by 2.5 seconds. At Bristol, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so now we can transition over to the Cup race from today, where we can talk about tires. He wrecked in all first 3 races? Yeah, see, that's what hurts. And that's why I like this point system, because you have to do well in all of the races. You can't take a race off and just sit back on a win, which was how stupid the other point system was. But yeah, hopefully this race will be one where he can turn it around and they can get some momentum from here going into Las Vegas next week. How's their 1.5 mile program? Nice. I'm not really too familiar. I know Ryan Sieg's pretty good at Las Vegas. He's pretty good at the 1.5 mile track, so hopefully those guys will do well. But I feel like Jeremy Clements is pretty solid there. Not like a top 5 speed car, but definitely top 15, I'm thinking, if I remember correctly. So yeah, that'll be next week. And I think that's pretty much it for that. All right, we'll move on to today's race. What is that? Rodents out of your engine bay. You do not want rodents to be in your engine bay. They will chew up the wires. They are all right at Las Vegas. Okay. Simple hack that keeps rodents out of your engine bay. How about not making the wiring harnesses and casings out of material that is bio-safe or whatever, that has like, peanut oil or something in them that make it appetizing for animals to eat. But anyway, Phoenix and Las Vegas are historically some of his not great tracks. Well, Phoenix, he ran great. So Las Vegas next week, he also could run great. Okay, so we look at the results. Rodents would die. Yeah, it'd be like 300 degrees inside there. Okay, so today's race. Let's just see how long it was. 3.5 hours. Yeah, see, in my opinion, that's just too long. That's too long for the modern audience. People aren't as interested. I think a big part of it is just the cars being so garbage, in my opinion. And the race only became interesting with the tire problems. People cutting down tires, smacking the wall, spinning out, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of when the race only became interesting. Ryan Blaney, okay, here's what I'll say. Ryan Blaney was like the only guy that could pass a lot of cars today. I don't remember the stat, but they put a graphic up that said he passed like, I don't know, an insane amount of cars. And he was like the only one that could actually pass a lot of cars and had speed. So as far as deserving winners, I don't really care much for Ryan Blaney, but I think he deserved to win the race. If it wasn't him, Christopher Bell deserved it as well. But Ryan Blaney winning, I think, is fair. Again, I don't really like him all that much. I don't like Penske. Logano getting crashed was the highlight of the race for me. I do feel bad for Anthony Alfredo. He was having a solid run and then got caught up in somebody else's mess. So Logano deciding to chase Ross down into the dog leg, the flat of the track. I don't think it was I didn't listen to the race. I just watched it. So if they interviewed both of them, there's probably context that I'm missing. But I did not listen to it, and to me, it looked like Ross was just doing what they always do and cut the dog leg. It didn't look like he was trying to block Logano. And Logano, to be fair to him, I don't think he was trying to hook Ross either. I think they were both just trying to cut the dog leg. And Logano, I don't know if he misjudged it or if he was just too close to Ross, but he got into him and sent them both up the track and destroyed the 48 in the process, and the 21, I think. So, yeah, I was pretty disappointed in that from a Ross standpoint, but as far as Logano goes, I don't care. He could crash every weekend, and that'll be fine with me. The rest of the race, I don't know. It's a Phoenix race. It's a flat track with the next gen. If there weren't tire issues, it would have been, I don't know, another waste of an afternoon watching a race, in my opinion. Not much happened. Like I said, Blaney was kind of the only guy that could pass. The cars don't really move around all that much, or at least they don't look it. Like the O'Reilly series, at least the cars move and they look like race cars. The Cup series, there's just something about it visually that I hate. I don't like it. But yeah, so Blaney and Bell running 1-2, I think that's fair. Larson was there a lot of the day. He didn't really do a ton. He dropped back actually pretty early on, and I don't know why. I don't know if it was a bad set of tires or what, but he dropped like a rock. Little Ty Gibby, he was up there for a lot of the day. Actually had the lead at one point. Did I think he was going to ever win? No. And O'Reilly has Adam Alexander. Agreed. And Parker and Jamie do a great job as like the hype. Like they're real racers, so they get excited when things happen on the track. And you can hear that in their voice. Sometimes it's a little much. They are a little goofy, but the CW is the best booth of the weekend. For sure. Yes, I agree. He was. Anthony Alfredo. First of all, I hope Bowman comes back relatively soon. Vertigo is one of those things that you just don't really know how long you're going to have it, and it's pretty bad. I think my mom had it for a little bit, and it messes you up. So hopefully Bowman comes back in a decent time, and hopefully Alfredo continues to run well in the 48. I think he showed that he can run well. The first couple stages he was kind of learning and not doing anything too crazy, too impressive, but then he kind of figured it out towards the final stage. So he got better and better as the race goes on, and that's all you can ask for. And he was having a solid day. I think that wreck was in the final stage. I don't even know, actually. When was that wreck? Caution flag, stage 1, stage 2. Yeah, okay. Lap 218 to 225. 1, 2, 22, 23, 48. Yeah, that was a stupid wreck. Took him out of contention, junked his car, took out Josh Berry. Him and Keselowski staying out on old tires was a decision. A bad one, but I think it was Keselowski that stayed out. Terrible decision. I understand why they did it for the track position, but as weird as it sounds, like the tires actually did fall off before they totally incinerated and obliterated. But I don't know, it's just the cars are just, even with worn tires, the contact patch is too much and they don't move around enough. But yes, getting back to the O'Reilly booth, I mean, those guys, Adam Alexander does such a good job of guiding the story of the race and talking about what's going on the track, you know, what's taking place, all of that kind of stuff. And then Jamie and Parker, like you said, nice. When something happens, those guys get super excited and it is electric. Again, a few times it's over the top, but I would take it being over the top than Jamie Little being like, and here comes the drivers to the finish line for the end of the race. Woo. You know, so, and Michael Waltrip, the dude just says things. I don't think he thinks before he says things a lot. But yeah, the O'Reilly booth is far and away the best of the weekend. I can't really take listening to Fox. I like Mike Joy. I don't really have much to say about Clint Boyer or Kevin Harvick. So I just decided to listen to the races on mute. Yeah, I like the truck booth, dude. It's something. Now, what I will say is the PRN and the MRN broadcasts, those are always banging. One thing though one thing I do have to say about that is I feel like their description of car lengths in between cars is never like that accurate, but they do a pretty good job of painting the picture for you on Greg coming in here with an absolute lie, saying that there were no good races this weekend. Bro just wants chaos. I'm not going to give it to him and say that there were no good races this weekend, because there definitely were. The Cup race was not a good race, but it's a typical Phoenix repave reconfiguration race with the next gen car. So Austin Hill finishing 21st in the 33 car. That's interesting. He just kind of stayed out of trouble, I guess. What else? Chase Elliott was all over. The NFL offseason was better. Yeah, you're not going to get any sympathy from me talking about football. But yeah, like Nice said, it is Phoenix. So I didn't really expect anything good. Never do when Phoenix is on the schedule, especially in the next gen. But yeah, Reddick obviously not winning his fourth in a row. I was honestly a little disappointed. He had a chance. There were a few times where he was close to the lead. And I'm like, bro could do it. He obviously didn't, but Cody Ware finishing 24th. Man, everybody else that was actually running behind him should be taking a real hard look at themselves in the mirror. Like Ross, obviously not, because he got caught up in that wreck. But Ty Dillon, John Hunter, what you guys doing? I think Ty Dillon actually got caught up in a wreck too. I don't know how much damage he had, but I think he was part of one. Maybe the 42 was as well. I don't really know, but yeah, Cody Ware getting a top 25. That's something you don't see all the time. Any other standouts? SVG coming back to finish 11th though. Michael McDowell getting the top 10. I do like Michael McDowell. Let's see. Dislike, kind of like, dislike, favorite driver, dislike, kind of like. So like my top 10, everyone involved. Okay, that's what I figured. But yeah, not a friendly top 10 in my opinion. I only like 2 of the drivers in there. I don't really care for the rest of them. Well, 3, I guess. William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Michael McDowell. I like Eric Jones too. Eric Jones, I feel like got screwed over by Gibbs. But he seems to be running well. The legacy cars are getting better-ish. So Reddick dominance comes to an end. Toyota dominance comes to an end. I did see the commercial about Jordan and the three-peat or whatever. And again, I will say this. I will take off my bias hat for a second and say that Ty Gibbs contending for the win was a surprise. It was. It was. I was not expecting to see the 54 up there ever, really. But yes. I will take my bias hat off for a second and say that objectively, Michael Jordan fighting for NASCAR is a good thing. I don't really care much for Jordan one way or the other. I don't really watch basketball. I don't really care about any of that. I wasn't even alive when he was, winning titles and all that. But I think objectively, him being around the sport and in it to some degree is a positive thing because people are talking about it. I just don't care much for his drivers, like Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. Like, I don't care about either of them, really. And, say what you want about it, but having someone with the name Michael Jordan as a I don't want to say spokesperson, but kind of as a figurehead for the sport is a good thing in general. But yeah, hopefully, it continues to be positive influence on NASCAR, but yeah, it is what it is. It's funny because I like Bubba, I guess. Don't really care for Reddick, though. Yeah, I don't know. Neither of them really turned the needle for me. I don't really like Bubba because of some of his antics. Like, he absolutely turned Larson a couple years ago at Las Vegas and then got out of the car and tried to fight Larson. Like, some of the stuff like that, it just annoys me. Also, being in a Toyota, I tend to lean against the Toyotas. But, yeah, I mean, hopefully that the Jordan hype train continues and is positive for the sport as a whole. Kind of like the Cletus thing. Do I think Cletus is ready for a higher level ride in NASCAR? No. Do I think he's good overall for the sport? Yes. Do I think that the sport should embrace him and help him along that journey? I do. So, it's kind of like Jordan. I think that, they should continue to utilize him in marketing and stuff because he's important to the sport. Other than that, though, this race was 3.5 hours long. It was not that interesting to me. I was hoping Carson would do a little bit better too. He got up to probably the top 5 at one point and then faded back. So he didn't really threaten a whole lot. Didn't really do a whole lot. Thursday, we'll talk about Las Vegas. We'll do a preview. I can't wait for all the Rockingham promos and Cletus face. It's gonna be that way. So, again, I do think it's probably a good thing to get eyeballs back onto NASCAR and kind of take it a little bit more mainstream, kind of get it into the public zeitgeist and conversation forums again. Because, I don't know, it just seems like NASCAR has done such a poor job of marketing their drivers over the past couple of years. Well, probably past decade, since the old guard retired. Gordon Johnson, Stewart, Kenseth, Biffle Jr., Kane, all of those guys. Since all of those guys retired, the sport's been way, way, way different. Speaking of Rockingham, Jeremy was good there last year. You had to say it. Yeah, you had to say it. This year might be a different story. So, yeah, let's look at the points really quick. And then that'll pretty much wrap up our weekend review. and we'll kind of work on some cars. I know I've been working on them in the corner a little bit, but okay, so unsurprisingly, Reddick is still the leader with Blaney jumping up to second. Bubba Wallace chilling in third. Chase Elliott, I feel like he lost some ground today because he didn't run good. SVG sitting in fifth. I think he makes the chase. I really do. Not based on just winning road courses and stuff like that. He has been running very well at these other tracks. He ran well at the drafting tracks. He ran well here today. SVG, the dude has figured out oval track racing. I think he's going to continue to do well. He will make the chase on merit, on speed. I like his chances. I think it's going to be that way. I really do. Michael McDowell, yep, sitting up there in eighth. Great for him. You love to see it. Larson, Byron, Hamlin, all being stuck 10th, 11th, 12th. That will obviously change. I feel like those guys will will start to pick up points. What do these mean? Oh, leader next. Points behind leader, next higher. What does that mean? Oh, that's just the delta between what? We can do math. Come on, NASCAR. So let's see who else we have. Who do we expect to be up there? Chase is going to be up there, obviously. SVG is kind of a little bit of a surprise. McDowell's a little bit of a surprise. Busher's not really a surprise, to be honest, being up there. He's kind of a quiet contender. AJ Allmendinger in the 16 being in 13th. You know, running 13th in points, that's not too bad. Kyle Busch should retire already. Not being able to pass Cody Boyer is crazy. Dude's got a point. Yeah, I think there's a large part of it is Kyle Busch hates these cars. Hates them. And I don't blame him because they suck from a fan standpoint. I hate them as well. I never thought I'd agree with Kyle Busch, but here I am. RCR being garbage, generally speaking, yes, Braden is a good point. So Kyle being in a car that he hates, racing for an RCR team that is I don't want to say underfunded, but they just perform under what they should. It doesn't surprise me. And on top of that, he has his kid Brexton's racing career that he's focusing on and being a huge part of, which at the end of the day, that's more important, in my opinion, is being there for his kid. So I definitely understand that. Yeah, and again, I think we've mentioned this in a couple other streams. But he has kind of become that lovable loser. Like Keselowski too. I hated both of them. Hated them in the late 2000s, early 20 and all through the 2010s. Couldn't stand either of them. I still don't really like Brad that much. What he did to Gordon at 2014 Phoenix, I can't forgive him for that. But Kyle Busch just, I don't know. All of his like commercials and promos and stuff are also weird. Some of the things he does with Samantha, they're kind of out there. They're kind of goofy. Like he's definitely a dad. Like you can clearly tell it. But yeah, Lucas Oil RC doesn't want to innovate for whatever reason. They're far from underfunded. Yeah, like, okay, underfunded is not the word, but like under-resourced maybe. They don't put the time and effort and resources into whatever area that they're missing out on, except for Richmond. Austin Dillon's going to win Richmond again this year. Mark it down. I don't know what it is, but they got that track figured out. Austin Dillon's going to win Richmond by like 10 seconds. The second Richmond. I don't think they do well in the daytime. It's that nighttime Richmond race. Whatever they're doing, they got it down. So, yeah, not a ton of surprises so far. I mean, Ross being down in 23rd, that's a little bit of a surprise, but I'm fairly certain last week he had a loose wheel, or they lost a wheel at Coda. This week he gets wrecked. Did he wreck at Atlanta? I think he did. Did he wreck at Atlanta? And I don't really remember Daytona. So Ross being pretty far down is a little surprising. Most of that's not of their own doing, but I think they'll kind of get better as the season goes on and go to some more normal tracks. But they were running well today. They were running kind of top 10-ish all day, top 10, top 15. So they were decent. Not great, but decent. Kyle Busch currently is outrunning Ross, though. Because Chevy in general had some growing pains with the new body. Yeah, the Chevys looked off. They looked like they were missing horsepower or something. It looked bad. Obviously, we know about Penske's domination at the short flat tracks, but like, I don't know, Chevy just didn't show up. All right, nice. Yeah, I think I'm only going to go for another half hour. I'm not going to go too long. I'm just going to get these two cars done and then maybe work on the Indy cars. So I'm not going to go for too long, but thanks for stopping by. If I don't see you today, I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully, for the Las Vegas preview. So enjoy dinner. I hope you enjoyed. I guess that was a bit redundant now, wasn't it? Corey Heim, Justin Allgaier, Alfredo, all those guys at the bottom, they're all like one race running fellas, and I don't think they can get points. Can they? Ineligible. Oh yeah, and Jimmy Johnson, he raced once. Honestly, same thing with Jimmy Johnson. Like, the dude's just gotta stop. That was one thing. I was really, really sad to see Jeff go when he retired. And he ran the 24-hour race in 2019. Or 2017, I think it was. And he ran a few races for Junior in 2016. But I was super glad that Gordon was like, once I'm done, I'm done. Because this whole thing with Jimmy Johnson, like, it must suck to be a Johnson fan and have to go through watching him run in the back and not have a chance to win any races, not be competitive at all. So that's pretty much it, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about specifically for the weekend. Obviously, this is the car we're still working on. I have 8 more to go. After these two, we have 8 more to go. If you haven't yet, go... I posted a short yesterday. It hasn't done well. I don't really know what to do with shorts, but whatever. It did get 1 subscriber to the channel. I think my main reason for using shorts is to like get people to the channel. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to use them, but that's how I see it, because then I'll tie a video to them. Again, not sure if that's the right thing to do, but it is what it is. So I don't know if you guys like the unboxing videos. I do. They're pretty simple to throw together. I kind of like them. Other than that, yeah. FA Cup was on this weekend. VAR ruined things again. The Wrexham-Chelsea game was fun until VAR decided to step in. I don't know. VAR is another thing that's starting to get to me, and just like it ruins soccer/football. So that's a very long conversation for another day. West Ham do play tomorrow in the FA Cup. They play Brentford. I don't know how that's going to go. I guess we'll see. But other than that, yeah, a decent weekend of racing, as decent as it could go for Phoenix. Next week, I'm looking forward to Las Vegas, specifically the O'Reilly series. But yeah, overall, I wish they would drop Phoenix to one race a year. They spent all that money, though, renovating it. I don't see them dropping it to one race. That's a track where if they went to once. Now, the IndyCar, though, the IndyCar series, they could go there twice, 3 times, whatever. They put on a good race. Even the O'Reilly, they could go there twice. Cup Series, 1 time a year. That's all I need. To be honest, I don't even need once a year, but if you have to, keep it on the schedule. Let's see, what else to discuss? Yeah, I think I am only going to go for another, 25 minutes, because I'm tired. Oh, time change. Yeah, I don't know where you guys all live, but here in the Midwest, we were part of the time change this weekend. I think everywhere in the United States has daylight saving except for 1 or 2 counties in a random place. So it was pretty nice to have sunlight at 7:30 on the way home tonight, 7 o'clock. So there was that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Back to work tomorrow. I did a little editing of the D'Agostini this week. Oh wow, that is not focused. Oh wow. Sorry guys. You probably didn't even notice. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. I should have done this before the stream. I normally always do, but alright. There we go. Try that. Bam. Okay. But yeah, other than that, not too many things. Not too many things going on. I still have to finish the decals for the Carl Edwards car, which I need to do this week. I have to work on the D'Agostini part 12. I have it done. I have it filmed. I've started the editing process. So it's only a matter of time before that one guy asks me when part 12 is coming. I forget what his name is, Bolton Briggs or something. He always asks me when the next D'Agostini is coming. So it's only a matter of time before he puts a comment somewhere and is like, hey, when's the next D'Agostini coming out? So, oh, did you guys see? Hold on, we got to pull this up too. We got to pull this up. Look at the state of this. Hold on. Look at the state of this. This is some wild stuff here. We'll do that. 129. And we'll do that. Oh. Well, I guess we'll have to just... Well, that's interesting. Where is it? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Whew. Whew. Yeah, okay. Alright, are you guys ready for this? Dang. I'm planning on making one of these. Dude, that is ridiculous. Wow. $560 for this truck. That's out of control. Now again, I plan on making one of these for a buddy of mine, but I'm not going to sell it. But holy cow, I should sell it. Jeez. That is wild. It was at like $300 earlier today. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. This is a lot more. Holy cow. $560. That's wild. And it's really the guy that does this. I've talked to this guy before. He does really good work. So I'm not surprised at the quality, but holy cow, I can't imagine. This car is gonna get over $1,000. I can't guarantee it, but 90 watchers. That's 26 bids, and it's still got almost 6 days left on it. Like, he just posted this. So, custom made, like dark strip or panty, custom diecast, clear triangle window on the easily priced for another. I don't have one handy. Oh, so he busted this back window. Not on. Oh yeah, on the top there. Dude, that's. Oh yeah. Those things are a pain in the butt to take out of the trucks. Those triangle windows. Holy cow, though, $560. I'm gonna absolutely keep a keen eye on this thing. I ordered a set of these decals, so I'm gonna be making one, but I'm not gonna be selling it. It's for a buddy of mine. And if I do go to Michigan this year, because I know Cletus said he was considering running Michigan, I will try to get it autographed by him. I am not an autograph hound. I don't chase people. I don't like doing that sort of thing. But if I do end up going to Michigan, I'll do my best to see if I can get it autographed. $1,000 for a truck would be insane. They are making a diecast. Lionel did say they're making like a. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't the truck. I think it was an ARCA car. So, yeah, I don't know. $1,000 for a truck, though. I could see it. And like I said, if I can, the decals, I already ordered them, so they should be on their way. Buddy of mine wants one. The same guy that I made the ARCA car for, is interested in the truck. But man, oh man, $1,000 is wild stuff. It's probably gonna get there. Oh, they're offering the O'Reilly car as well. Okay, maybe it's just that. I saw they're offering one. Are they offering more than one? We can look. We have the resources. Hold on. We'll take a look. Well, I don't give a crap about Tyler Reddick. Well, yep, whenever I open a new tab on the browser. Shop by driver. Do you think they have Cletus in here? No, they do not. Would it be under Garrett? It would not. It's probably going to be under other drivers. I looked up Cletus on last night. It was just the O'Reilly car. Tommy Express Watch. Yeah, this one right here. This one. O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Number 33. Okay. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the paint scheme looks like. I do not intend on buying it. Like, I have nothing against him. I'm just not that big of a fan, personally. So I'm not gonna collect his cars. That's just not what I'm gonna do. But I'm sure those things will sell like hotcakes once his fans kind of get a sniff of that. Hopefully it's a good paint scheme, yeah, like you said, and I'm sure it'll sell. I don't think it'll have any problem selling. Meeting mock minimum order quantity. Ain't no way it's gonna not. So once he posts it, it'll fly off the shelves. I wonder if it'll have the backing to compete with some of the Dale Jr. diecast. You know, like the Justin Allgaier cars. I wonder if it'll throw some numbers around like that. It'll be interesting to see. I guess we'll see. But again, like we said before, I think he's overall a positive for the sport. I do think he's being rushed into it a little bit Danica Patrick style. I think she was rushed up a little bit too quickly, but I think he could do well. So, not that she couldn't, but they're going to throw some resources behind him. RCR's got the O'Reilly series down. It's just their Cup Series program is subpar. Which that expression never really made a whole lot of sense to me because you want to be subpar in golf, right? You want to be below par. But anyway, I guess we don't really, considering I'd probably give the junior stuff. I think so too. I don't think it'll beat any of the junior numbers, but it'll probably be close. I wouldn't be surprised though if it does beat some of the junior numbers. Let's say it like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. So, yep. All right, let's pull this IndyCar. So here, I can show you guys. I've been working on this one, just trying to slowly chip away at it. I have the fuel inlet done. I glued in this other side. I glued in the windshield, the seat. So we're getting there, and then we're on to getting all of the carbon fiber laid down, which again, I will have to spray it with like a diluted or a black chrome at some point. So we're getting there, and I think I'm gonna finish up. I think I'm just gonna do this part around here and this part around here and then this little triangle. So this will stay, these fins will all stay. It's the underside of the car. You don't really see it. I don't really want to put all of that time and effort into doing it. I've already done more than I wanted to with this car. We're coming up on a year in May that I've been working on this car, so I really just want to get it done, to be honest with you, at this point. If I end up going to another IndyCar race at some point, though, I'm going to try to get it autographed. I don't really know where he would autograph it, but I'll try. So, yeah, that's the current state of things. We definitely have some projects coming up. I don't want to let the secret out, but I will be working on a white gold Regan Smith car from his Daytona loss in 2008. So I'm excited about that. What else? Oh, this car. I have to put another coat of primer on it, but you can see that you could just make out the fuel inlet right there a little bit. So I got to put a smidgen, a tiny bit more filler primer on there. And then this side, I got to break out the sanding stick. Maybe we'll do that right now. Let's just do that. Break out the sanding sticks so we can clean this side up. And then this car will be ready for an overall paint job. So we have these circular sanding sticks that will just allow me to get inside this a little bit. Pretty good. Just nice and simple. We don't have to overdo it or kill it. But I think it turned out pretty good. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's not perfect, but if you put it up against like a normal car, it looks pretty good. These circular sanding sticks are funny. So yeah, this is Ryan Sieg's Watkins Glen car from last year, from 2025. So what I'll end up doing is I'll throw a little bit more filler primer on it, and then it'll be good to go. Then we'll have to hit it with the real color. So it's black from the tail panel up to like the halfway, and then white on the roof, and then the nose, and then the nose up here is a little bit black. So I'm hoping to get this puppy painted this week. So we can get moving on it, because I'm gonna need something to do on the next couple streams. Because like I said, we're closing in on Cody's cars. We have 8 more to go. We'll probably start the next 4 over the next couple days. And then on the stream, we'll probably hit some of them. I do have to talk to him about the new paint scheme. I haven't really heard anything from him on that, but I'm sure he's got some information hopefully soon for me. But yeah, we'll give this a nice shot of filler primer. Get this one looking good. But yeah, this one again is for me. I don't make cars for myself too often anymore, so this is one of those rare occasions. I'm gonna have to scuff the whole thing one more time before I hit it with the primer, but yeah, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Don't mind the extra run here. I gotta fix that, but I already sanded it down. But that fuel inlet, I mean, it's pretty close to the real ones. I'm pretty pleased with the way that it turned out. But it looks like our poll question, we have a tie between O'Reilly and the IndyCar series. That does not surprise me at all. Both of those races were really good. No votes for today's race. I 100% agree with that. Today's race was garbage. And then the ARCA race, I really hope that it was Cody that jumped in and voted for it and then hopped out. So, yeah, plenty to do for me the next couple weeks, the next couple days. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to try to come up with something for Thursday. It won't be this car. Lina would never. It looks great. Thank you. Okay, so speaking of Lionel, one of the things that I thought about this while I was making this car is they have molds, right? So these die casts are made by injecting molten metal into molds. And what they could do, I'm not like a mold expert. We do a little bit of work with rubber molding at my work, but what we do oftentimes at work is we have an insert in our molds. So if you want to have, like, let's say we work on bushings. So if you want to have a different void shape in the bushings, you can have different inserts that you can take in and out of the molds. So it can be like a multi-use thing. So for these, the only thing Lionel would have to do is they would have to have, because to make this, you have to have a part of the mold that sticks in, right? So basically what you would do is you'd have the mold be the same, and then just in these 2 areas, you have little inserts that you could take in and out of the mold. So this side would be flat most of the time, and this side would be where this insert is. And then when you have a Watkins Glen car or Chicago Street Course, maybe wherever they race it with the fuel inlet on the opposite side, you would just take this side, put the block in so it's smooth like this, and then take this side and have it with the insert. It seems pretty simple to me because I do think they do some sort of post-processing with these. They have to sand off the flash or something like that. So if they're going to be doing that, there's likely obviously going to be flash around it, but it's just a little bit extra in the post process, and I think that they could do that and it would look well. So I mean, obviously you can see here pretty good on my junky job, and then this one, you know, I just drilled it out, used JB Weld and a little brass tube to get that shape. So yeah, I think it's a pretty simple fix. I think it would help add to the diecast as well. Do I think Lionel's gonna want to put the capital in to do that? I doubt it. They did break the Tyler Reddick mold though, so maybe I should call them. Maybe I should call them and tell them, like, guys, you're missing an opportunity here. So maybe I'll suggest it on the forum or something. But yeah, this car, it's turning out great. I'm excited about this one. I'm gonna have the whole team hopefully autograph it when we go down to Charlotte. But yeah, so it's 9:24. I think I'm gonna call it there. We got done what I wanted to get done with these two cars, so now we're literally down to 8, and I'm so ready to be done with them. I like Cody. I like that he's racing. I like that they're doing this. But I'm ready to be done with these cars. So yeah, I think we'll probably just call it there. Braden, it was great having you here, and everybody else that was here for the review. Decent racing this weekend, nothing too great, but yeah, we'll come back on Thursday. I'll be a little bit more prepared, have some more stuff to do on Thursday, and we can do some more on Thursday. So we'll call it there. It was a good weekend, and yeah, West Ham plays tomorrow. Come on, you Irons. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday and a good start to your week tomorrow, and then we'll catch you guys on Thursday. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.